Hi, this is Ant from Speakerstack Music. In today's video, we're going to continue with the Ableton introductory song that we've been working on over the previous 8 videos. And we're actually going to record a final version of this using Ableton's session view and record a take of the song and actually end up with a final version that we've captured in the Ableton arrangement view. And I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. We've assembled all the clips, so we've got all those ready, and we've actually labeled each section of the song. So I'm going to do a recording and then flick through each section of the song, triggering it slightly before it starts, because if you remember, Ableton's really good at this. Basically, if you click on the start of the next section of the song, it will automatically understand when you're trying to sync it in and drop it in to the beat at the right point in time. And what that will then do is create a version of the song which we will see laid out in Ableton's arrangement view, which is the other window that you can use to create a song in Ableton. But we've done it this way around because using the session view is a great way of getting a song structure in Ableton put together that you can then tweak and amend, which I have been doing as we've been going along. And you can actually label it and start to get a sense of how you're going to have that structure working for you. So let's get started, and I'm going to press the arrangement record button, which is here, and then that will then time me in, and then it is a case of then clicking on these triangles here down this side and actually then triggering each section of the song and doing a recording of it. I'm also going to be flicking backwards and forwards between the session view and the arrangement view, just so that we can make sure that it's actually recording. So when I go into the arrangement view, you will see how the track is actually being laid out and assembled there. So let's get going and start the recording. There you go. So we've done a take of the song, and as you see at the end of that, when I wanted all the loops to stop playing, I clicked on this square button down here, and then I've stopped the record button at the top. And actually, I did go into another part of that loop, that final loop. Let's just stop that there. For that end section, but it's actually quite nice because it ended up on a little bit of guitar. So the next thing to do is just to click on this button here. This is essentially about confirming that what you've recorded in the arrangement view is what you want to accept as part of the recording. So if you click on that, you'll notice all of that goes from a kind of a muted dull colour to something which is bright and confirmed. So that has actually taken a version of the song there in the arrangement view. And we're looking at the song structure in its entirety. So rather than seeing each instrument as we saw previously in the session view in a vertical setup where you go from the top to the bottom as you're running through the song, we're actually looking at the song in a very different way in the arrangement view. It's more like how you would view music on a piece of sheet music. So going from left to right as a linear sequence. So essentially that's what we've done here. We've captured the music as a linear sequence. And you'll see each section of each instrument that was set up as a loop kind of has its own chunk in the arrangement view. So that would correspond to the first drum loop that we had here. That would correspond to the second drum loop that we had there. That would correspond to the third one that we had set up for the build-up. And I think that one would correspond, if I'm right, to the verse, and that would be the chorus. So, and you can see that's the same for every instrument. We had shaker coming in here at this part of the song, which we have here, which comes in for the chorus, and again more shaker coming in on that second chorus. So actually that is the chorus and that's the second chorus. And then I think what you had there was a verse there, and then a chorus, and then I think we played through the chorus twice there. I might have had a middle eight in that bit. So we've captured each section of the song and it's laid out in these set chunks here, and the great thing with this is it's not yet finished, so you can actually still go in now and start to amend what we've recorded here. You can go into each of these bits and you can click on it and you can open it up in the same way that we open it up when we recorded into the clip, and you've got the notes there, and you can actually still go in and amend that. So if we wanted to, we could say drop an extra kick in to this part here. Let's just hear what that would sound like. So you can build it up and just tweak it here and there just to get the kind of sound you want. And I think it would be helpful to add some more drums in. And I think if I was going to work on this further, I might want to think about perhaps dropping out some of the guitar, because I think that there's perhaps a little bit too much guitar, and if you look, it's pretty much going up throughout the song. So I just want to give a little bit of light and shade to that. So I think what I'm initially going to do is drop the guitar out of the first part of that second verse. Just see how that sounds. And we've added in some extra kick into this bit here. Let's just add a little bit more kick in just to spice it up a bit. And I think I'm going to then copy that and again paste that into the other two verse sections that we had. So again, we'll just be able to play that back and just see how that sounds. So the other thing I'm going to do on the drums is just add in a little bit of a fill before we go into the choruses, again just to make it a little bit more interesting. So the way to do this is to actually go into the clip and start splitting it up, because what you have here is a repeated pattern that's going over and over within that loop, and we want that final bar to essentially play something slightly different. So you do that by clicking on it and then going to edit, and you can actually then go to split, and you can start to just split up the clips. You can see that again I've just created something slightly different here. So we just want something a bit more rhythmic to lead into the choruses. So I'm just going to add in a snare, just see if that sounds. It might come across as a little bit too much, but let's just see how that sounds. Okay, so I think that sounds fine. I'm going to copy that, and again I'm going to paste that into the final bit of this verse section here, which I think is the second verse, and I'm going to do something similar before we go into the chorus. And again, that chorus section, we know that's the chorus section because we've got shaker in it. So I'm just going to again click on that, split it, then go in, and again let's just see how that sounds. Again, it might be just too much, but let's just try it. No, that sounds fine. So again, just going to copy that. And that was actually the end of the build-up bit, but I think that works quite nicely as part of the end of the chorus as well. So again, I'm just going to hover over that section that I want to drop it in, that final bar of the chorus. I can just put it there and paste it in there. And again, if we go across to that second chorus, whoops, I'm about to put it in the drums there, that second chorus, paste it in there, and again I'm going to paste it at the end of those two loops there. Let's just see how that sounds. What I'm going to do with that middle 8 section where the guitar elaborates a little bit more, we've got some more lead going on in there, is I'm going to take the drums out apart from that very last bit, and again I'm just going to copy that. Let's just open that out so we've got a bit more to play with and drop it in there. So I'm just going to see if that sounds pretty good coming out of that second chorus and into the middle 8. Let's take the drums out just for a bit of a contrast. Sounding pretty good. So I think I'm going to leave it there with what we've recorded. That is a take of our song using the session view to capture a version of the song which has then recorded and laid itself out in the arrangement view, and that is done then for you to go in and tweak and amend. I'm going to save the song so we've got a version of it, and that ends the video. So I hope you've enjoyed it. If you like the content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And in the next video, video 10 of this sequence, I'm going to finish the song by applying some mastering effects to the song, such as EQ and compression, which will perhaps hopefully bring it out a little bit more, boost the frequencies, and yeah, turn it into a finished song. So thanks very much for listening.